Assalamu alaikum and peace and blessings. You are tuned in to the Sajdah Morning Coffee Talk, where we talk about life, love, and business. And today is part two on our series on scammers, robbers, con artists, pimps, and hustlers. So sit back, grab your coffee, tell a sister, tell a brother, tell them to join in. You don't want to miss this. I'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Guide me among those whom thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what thou hast judged. Surely thou judgest, and none can judge against thee, and he whom thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art thou, O Lord, and exalted be thee above what they set up besides thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is thy servant and apostle. Amen.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Sajdah Morning Coffee Talks, where we talk about life, love, and business. Y'all know that. I hope you got your coffee. I brewed me a very special cup this morning. Um, it's 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 a specialty blend, and it's also got hazelnut in it and a little hint of cayenne. And I put some oat milk creamer in there, so it's really good. A little bit of agave, so it's really good. Got my coffee cup. I think my brother gave me this cup. It says Black Hope, Black Power, Black Magic, Black History, Black Excellence. Um, I got some. I have some Sajda coffee mugs. And I was going to put the link out on the site. They're bigger, like 20-ounce cups like this, which is what I like. So I'll put the link out there, and we can all be drinking from our Sajda cups in the morning. Did y'all tune in? How many of y'all tuned in yesterday morning to the conversation about scammers? And what I'm assuming, okay? What I'm assuming, make sure while you're watching that you're liking and subscribing. Hit that super chat button or go to Cash App and give a love offering. Thank you to each and every one of you that have sent a love offering. I'm assuming that y'all know not to be giving your information over the phone, right? Somebody call you randomly and say, hey, from your bank, I need to verify this or that. Generally, what I do, I hang up on them and I'll call my bank. I'll call the number on the back of my card myself. So I think you all know that. I think you all know in business, use secure ways for people to pay. You know, a lot of people will look at you and be like, well, I don't use Cash App or I don't use Zelle. Well, I'm not giving you my whole account information. I'm not giving you all my stuff because you just don't know who people are. And even if, and here's the other risk, you may trust that person, but are they involved with somebody that you can't trust? So there's that kind of stuff. And I think you all know that. If you get an email, for example, that's supposed to be from your bank or from somewhere, do not hit reply on that email. I mean, unless you requested a verification link, don't hit reply on that email and then start putting all your information in. I think y'all know that, right? I think you know, I hope you guys know to make sure you have a VPN on your phone. If you're sending personal information over the email, make sure you use an encrypted email. These are all things that you kind of learn in business, but oftentimes you don't learn as an individual. But to just be mindful, if you're skeptical, don't do it. Get somebody on the phone, call the number independently on your own, get the number on your card, and just be mindful. And another thing you can do is change your passwords often. I put alerts on my phone, so I'm often changing my passwords. Make sure you also verify if you have to pay somebody. Say, hey, I want to verify, because people also intercept emails. So they may intercept your email and say you're trying to buy something and ask you for a number. I mean, there's all these kind of scams out here. But I think the ones that we miss are the people that come to us in front of us and play psychological games. These are the ones that we miss. And these are the ones we talked about yesterday. Okay. These sociopaths or people who practice sociopathic behavior in the name of business tend to have a certain pattern. They're going to be really urgent about asking you for money. Or like if, you may do something with somebody legitimately and they want to provide a service. And then they start telling you, you know what, and you should go ahead and pay for the next round right now. And they start trying to pressure you on that. But let me tell you, you got to see how they do on that first round. If you pay somebody, let's say $2,000 for a service, then just wait, see how they do. See what benefits you get out of it. Me personally, I love when people do that because I guarantee you, you're going to get more out of me being there than me not being there. So if you don't pay me and I don't come back, you're going to miss me before anything else. And so a lot of people, you won't miss them because they ain't doing nothing no way. So you want to be, you want to be mindful of that kind of thing. But a lot of these people, like I said, they practice these sociopathic behaviors. And we get caught up because we really got healing issues. We really, really need to heal, y'all. We got to focus on healing today. I see y'all in the chat. I see Sister Sandra D said, Assalamu alaikum, family. Happy, blessed every day. Thanks for the Monday motivation and all the shows. Thank you, sis. Servant Nasir says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, sir. Alicia Akram, ASA, peace and blessings to the Coffee Talk family. Yes, ma'am. Brother Lamont said he did and he felt the show was great. Sister Betty said the show was great. Good morning, Mother. Happy Saturday. Okay, so I see y'all up in here. Okay, so this is the thing. You know, when you're watching, I don't know how many of y'all looked at things like The Tinder Swindler and some of these shows, and you're like, how did she get scammed? People get scammed because they want something, and that person is able to trick them that they're going to be able to give it to them. So sometimes people want get rich quick. They really just feel like, yeah, I'm going to join this Ponzi scheme. I'm going to go buy up this stuff. I'm going to put my money up. And they told me that I'm going to have this fast return in a short period of time. Don't believe it. Trust me, don't believe it. If it was that good to be true, everybody would be doing it. Okay? Everybody would be doing it. So before you go into these, get yourself caught up in these Ponzi schemes and all this kind of stuff. And the beauty of the scam is that, when they set it up like network marketing and there's so many people that who are involved in it, you can easily get scammed. Look, all it takes is for you to just do your due diligence. Check out the company, check out the person. Nowadays on the internet, it's so easy to do. Don't be so quick to just give up your money trying to get something quick. Everybody is always thinking, okay, I'm gonna hurry up and get this money. I need this quick money. Well, how many times have you played the lottery and you ain't won? But guess what? If we was really tuned in to our authentic self, we could remote view the numbers and play it. You really could if you really tuned in. So this is where we have to focus on healing and being able to tune in so that we don't get caught up. That's the first thing. Wanting something quick, wanting something for nothing. Some people like to say, well, that person is just gullible. Is it really that they're gullible, or is it that they want something quick and want something for nothing? See, you could be a nice person. You could be a gullible looking and gullible acting person, but not be honest on the inside your damn self. So you don't see nothing wrong with it. And here's the other one. Some of us need to heal. We want to be loved so bad. So somebody love bombs us, whether it's in business, whether it's in an interpersonal relationship, and oftentimes what scam artists will do, and I'm primarily talking about business. I know a lot of you all the language will make you think that I'm not talking about business, but it's really the same sociopathic behaviors. So what will happen is, really what a love bomber will do is they'll start to come around you. They'll want to have meetings. They'll invite you to meetings. They'll want to hang out. They'll want to just constantly talk about that subject because, one, they're probably trying to steal a little knowledge from you. So you're going to get that. And then They probably is somebody that has something about them that makes you think that they can either hook you up with a business deal, get you a contract, introduce you to somebody. It's going to be something about them that makes you think that they can do that for you. And so once they know that you're kind of hooked into them and their power or potential power, then now they go to work on you. So now they're talking to you all the time about the business, about getting a contract, about your talent, about your gifts, about your goals. And then one or two things either happens. Either they'll ask you for some money straight up, or if they don't ask you for money straight up, they'll try to attach themselves to your name. So you might be a mental health counselor, okay? And you may have a government contract. You may have a strong, I'm just using this as an example. You may have a strong background in mental health, and you do independent consulting, you lecture, you do all these things. You teach at a school, and this person may just attach themselves to you long enough so that the other people they're trying to scam will say, well, I saw him or her online with so-and-so, so-and-so, and I saw him or her at an event with so-and-so, so-and-so. So now when they move on to the next victim, they kind of have a little bit of a associative resume. So they'll want to have pictures with you. They'll do all kind of little things like spirit check-ins. So when you go dark or a little quiet, then they checking in, hey, and then dangling the carrot again. Hey, don't forget, I ain't forgot about you. We're still going to do the contract and all of that. And that won't really matter unless you're so emotionally vested and you have not healed. If I'm talking to somebody and they're really cool and we're having business conversations and I get busy and I go out of town, or they go out of town and they call me back and say, hey, I just wanted to check in with you. That doesn't matter to me because I'm not starving for attention. So you can't love bomb me. I'm not starving so much for love in the business sense of the word, or even in a personal relationship, that if you love bomb me, then now I'm going to give you the world. Or I'm going to really believe that you say who you say you are. Look, you got to know that there's a 90-day honeymoon. If you get a new job, it might be a great job. You always wanted it, but there's a 90-day honeymoon. I tell people, when you get a contract, you're an independent contractor, you get that new contract, there's a 90-day honeymoon. And then you get to see who the real players are. So you just got to chill. Just lay back. Stop being so thirsty. Stop. And a lot of that thirst comes from competing all the time. You're online looking at other people. You want to compete. You want to dress like them. You want to look like them. You want what they want. You over here, you want love so bad. And so all of this, we got to heal. You got to fall back and chill. Put in that work. Put in the hard work to chill, and then to heal, and then you'll start to create the right boundaries around you so that you can't be love bombed, so that you can't be ghosted, because it won't really matter, because you haven't given up any information. Let me tell you something. I've been in business long enough. I am the master at talking to a person but not really saying nothing, and talking to you about business, but I ain't gave up nothing. There's so much scamming out here, and people talk. People talk. I think I told you, I made a phone call to somebody to, I don't want to say the exact scenario. I made a phone call to somebody that's helping me with something, and I asked them to do something else for me. And so they had to make a series of phone calls. When they made their series of phone calls, I got 2 to 3 phone calls from people that I knew in the industry. Like, hey, I heard you was trying to do such and such. I heard you was trying to do such and such. So so should I get all caught up? No, you got to chill. Wait till you see that contract. Wait till you see that deposit. And if somebody has been love bombing you, and I'm telling you this, if you're an athlete, if you play in college sports, if you play in high school sports, and you got a potential team or a potential coach, if you're a singer, you got a potential manager, potential production company, or even just somebody who's trying to pimp you out. If they've been love bombing you, constantly telling you how good you are, holding your, heralding you, it could be totally legitimate. I'm gonna tell you what you do. You smile your way through. You use those compliments as confidence boosters, because confidence is big. Confidence will go a long way. You use that as a confidence builder, and then guess what you do? You wait till you get that daggone contract, and you make sure you dot every I and cross every T. Don't jump into this just because somebody love bombing you. Don't go, okay, you know what? I'll perform at your charity concert because I know that you're probably going to get me a deal. You don't know that. They could be just love bombing you so you could perform at the concert. And I'm talking about love bombing in business. A lot of people, and I have to honestly tell you this, and I give my credit to understanding this to my father. We didn't have that language back then. But when we would go out and go shoe shopping, and he would tell me what kind of shoes he thought I should get or what kind of outfit he thought looked good, we always talked about people using, and like I said, now we have language for it, but now we talked about people using sociopathic behaviors in business. Okay? But somebody can only love bomb you if you need to be healed. Otherwise, it's just a compliment. You say thank you. You keep moving. And how do I know you're healed? Because you're constantly talking about every time somebody gives you a compliment. How do I know you're not healed? I'm sorry. Because you're constantly talking about it every time somebody gives you a compliment. That means it's easy for you to get love bombed. People can love bomb you because they just want to associate with you. And next thing you know, their business is tied to yours, is tethered to yours, and you don't even know how. They've piggybacked off your brand. A lot of people just like to get your trade secrets. Now, this one I've gotten scammed out of this a lot, where I've gone someplace and I made a presentation, and then I looked up and the person had a show that was something that I presented, or I looked up and they were doing my idea or my concept. Sometimes they tweak it a little, sometimes they don't. Sometimes people will come around you and just try to look like you, dress like you, so that they can steal some of your vibe. And ultimately, we talking business now. I'm not talking about social per se, but in business. And then next thing you know, they're getting some of what you should have gotten. Let me tell you, major artists and stars, a lot of entertainers do this all the time. They sleuth the internet. They're looking for that next hot thing, the next dance, all of that stuff. And guess what? They take it and they put it in their video. And you know it was yours because you made it up. And I think I've told you all about this before. When I first started coaching, so I started video blogging, and then when I became an certified emotional intelligence coach, I didn't want to just teach straight emotional intelligence the way they taught us in class, because I had did 3 certifications and it was all kind of similar. So I created, this is on the coaching side, a coaching style called authenticity coaching. It was a combination of things that I learned growing up from my mother, father, grandmother. It was rooted in my spirituality, right? So a lot of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in that coaching style that you probably, they probably didn't even know. And then a lot of things from my own personal experience. I do a lot of remote viewing. I get a lot of downloads. I've always been extremely connected to the universe. I get messages all the time. I could sit there and close. Sometimes if you see me, and this used to happen a lot when I was a child, I sit there and get quiet is because I'm getting something. I'm seeing something. I first close my eyes, either to meditate or even to sleep, and there's just stuff. And so I started using that, and I came up with a style and a brand called authenticity coaching. And I would have different, things that I would say and do. And one of them, there was a big segment of something that I used to teach that actually came from my mother. Because we weren't allowed to be followers growing up. My mother was all about us being our own selves, being our own individual selves. And that was big, big, big in our household. I come from the era where you got whoopings. So you would get a whooping for being a follower, like doing stuff just because your friends was doing it, or doing stuff just because somebody else did it. So if we got in trouble because we was following behind somebody else, that was big trouble in our household. And so I created a coaching style around that to help guide people to think for themselves and be their own authentic self. And I remember this lady who I was working with, she started coaching. She was in a whole nother field. So she started copying that. And she said, I learned this in the class. And she was saying things that I had put in my coaching that my mother had said. But I realized the whole time she was kind of talking to me and hanging out, she was taking little pinches and aspects of my coaching style and rebranding it and packaging it as hers. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody takes a little bit from this person or that person. When you all talk to me and you go out and talk to somebody else, you're going to take excerpts of things you learn from me, things I learned from somebody else. We all do that. So I'm not saying that's a crime, but when again, I go back to the love bombing. When you just want to be somebody's best friend, you just want to hang out, you want to be business partners, and you're really just doing it so that you could steal their trade secrets, that is a scam artist. Okay? A lot of us get scammed like that. And I've gotten scammed like that a lot. Pitching, talking too much, running your mouth too much. Look, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told me something really simple. He said, loose lips sink ships. And when he said that to me, I thought I was already close. And so I just, you know what, let me be a little bit more quieter. So you learn how to speak without giving up a lot of your personal information. Sometimes people, you'll have people who will come around you because you're their competition and they're trying to peep your weaknesses. Why do they want your weaknesses? So that later they can use it against you. They can either use it as they're strategizing and they're really your competitor, but you don't know it. And they'll use your weaknesses against you. Or they will use it later if they're in a position of power, and that becomes their trump card. So whatever you're doing and your nose ain't clean and you out here doing shady stuff, thinking, you kicking it with certain people, look, don't have people up in your business like that. This is really a form of a scam artist. It's like having people who are agents around you. We use this language a lot in the nation where we go, you know what, that person's a whole agent. And a lot of times it's because they're asking you 1,001 questions. A lot of times because they're love bombing you, trying to hang out with you, trying to just get as much information about you as possible, and then they ghost. So we talked about ghosting in business yesterday. So a lot of times these people are going down a certain road and they realize that I'm not going to get nothing out of you. And so they just disappear and they just ghost you. But wait, just a few minutes ago, we was so much in love, and us doing a business partnership was the best thing since sliced bread. I tell you something funny. Um, y'all know I started video blogging in 2009, right after my father passed. And I really started doing it because I needed to do something with just all the information that and experiences that I was having and that I had. And I just said, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna use this to create flow. And so I would just record and record and record. And for so many years, it's been a hobby. I really didn't turn it into a business until recently. And I'm always that person that I want to have receipts before I start a business. So before I say I'm a coach, I want to go, no, I got to have a certain amount of projects under my belt. I got to have a certain amount of experience under my belt. I got to have read a certain number of books. I got to have done a certain amount of things. So I don't ever want to just come out here and just hang my shingle and I don't really have any experience. So anything you see me doing that I'm advertising, that I'm selling, whether it's coaching, consulting, developing, whatever, it's because I got receipts. And if you were to look me up, I can give you receipts. Okay. I can give you evidence of my experience. I never wanted to be one of these coaches or consultants out here that's running their mouth, but they can only, maybe some of them can only take you like one step or two step, but they don't tell you. So you keep paying, you keep paying, you keep paying, and they've already exhausted the level of knowledge that they can impart upon you. They can't go no further, but you keep paying. See, with me, and I'm being completely honest, the more we continue to engage, the more I'm going to tune into you and remote view you and be able to see you and help you, move you past blind spots, help you develop your business, all this other stuff. We're going to go further and further and deeper and deeper. And pretty soon we will build a business that will sustain you. We will build a mindset that will help you to attract what you want into the world. Okay. It's just how the process is. So anyway, so I had this guy to call me, and he was talking about my podcast. And he said, hey, I would love to, come there and record with you and produce something. And I have a desire to work on, doing a produced show. I want Coffee Talks to become a produced show. So I'm trying to figure out how to still have the live interaction, still have guests, but then add a little production in it, so just, playing around with that kind of stuff. And so the guy was telling me about his production company and all the people that he knows and the types of cameras that they use and the types of things and the platforms and blah, 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 blah. And so we spent, a few days just talking about this. He would call me, say, hey, I wanted to give you this, want to show you that, da, 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 da. And, and so I said, hey, I have not really cared about trying to see like how many listeners, how many followers, but I do know that it's a lot. I do know that YouTube and Facebook and social media, they shadow ban because I'm teaching you all how not to trade in your humanism for some of this garbage that's out here. And, they play with the algorithms. I can look on my streaming service and sometimes it'll say that there's 100 people on here and I'll see y'all in the chat. It'll be flowing. And when I get off, I'll look at YouTube or Facebook and it'll say you had two viewers. That's why I always tell y'all, like and subscribe and make this go viral, like truly viral. And let's not rely totally on the algorithms to share the information. And so anyway, so he and we talking about all of this. And I'm just saying, so, and I tell anybody who comes to talk to me, so I do what I want to do. I do it how I want to do it. I talk about what I want to talk about, what comes to me, what downloads to me. And I've been blessed to help so many people to end up getting more clients, to, get business deals and to really just, move everything just by telling my story. Right. And he asked me for, what did he say? I forget if it was like $3,500 a month And I get this kind of stuff all the time because there's people now who target podcasters who just constantly email you and call you. Some of them are smart enough to try to become friends, but this target thing with podcasters is huge. And I'm going to give y'all some advice on that. You people who are targeting podcasters, I'm going to help you with your business model. But let me say this first. So this particular guy was like, it was like $3,500 a month, and he could produce 3 shows for me a week. And, he had this whole thing together. And I said, you know what? I said, if I do business with somebody in that manner, I really have to know you, because you have to understand what this podcast is. You have to understand that this podcast is really me tuning in to a spirit that comes into me, talking about things that come to me, sharing some of what my clients talked about. So the person would have to really know that and understand that. They'd have to get to know me and understand who I am. So I don't really think that you could produce the show and do that for me because I don't really know you. Man, this dude said, excuse my language because I got to curse a little bit. He said, well, your podcast ain't shit no way. It ain't about nothing no way. Ain't nobody looking at that. I said, oh, but wait, it was just the shit the last 2 weeks when you've been emailing and calling and sending me all these statistics. And I said, but it was the shit then. Why is not the shit now when I don't want to give you $3,500 because you don't even know me? How can you produce a show around me? You don't even know me. I didn't give you my treatment. I didn't give you my outline for the show and what I'm working on doing. I didn't give you any of that. So let me give you guys some advice. People who kind of prey on podcasters. You go out here, you see us out here, you say, oh yeah, I can help her. I can tell her what she can do more of or how she can do this or that. Anytime you enter a crowded field, and I'm gonna lean into the camera right here because I'm gonna give you some advice. And I hope you send me a love offering because I'm gonna tell you how to do your business. Always find a way to deliver your services or something that you do that's different from what the next person does. See, because what y'all doing is y'all all taking the same business model, using the same daggone language. And y'all don't know, we're seeing y'all come one after another. Your emails look the same. Your LinkedIn comments look the same. Your phone calls are the same. Your pricing is the same. I don't know if there's an underground scam schemer for podcasting, but it's all the same. Find a way to be unique. Find a way to deliver your good and service. If you're a real estate agent, what is it that you do and what do you offer that is different from the next real estate agent? What makes you different? Well, you better go deeper into your authentic self because the only difference is you. So if you're using a cookie cutter business model just like the next person, why am I going to go with you? When I know this person over here, you got to find a way to add more value. Find a way to add more value. And I'm going to tell you, let me give you another little trade secret. In any business that you're in, build your network. Okay? Build your network. Sometimes when you're new in the business, this is hard to do and it takes time. But over the years, if you've been in a certain number of years, you should have a good, healthy network. If you call me about anything in business, I got a network of people I can either call and get some advice from. Heck, I got projects I can go and Google in my shared drive and try to figure out how to help you. But build a network so that people, when they come to you, you're a resource. If you sell real estate, you should know enough buyers that you connect with and that you stay in contact with, that you talk to, so that when you list that house, you should be able to call up enough people to say, hey, I'm showing this house, I'm listing this house, and there should be enough people that will come through there that your seller will see you as a resource. You should damn near be able to sell it just based on people in your network or people in your extended network. That's how strong you should be. If you call me and you say, hey, I'm trying to manufacture something. I got people in my network that I can call to help you find a processing plant. I know microprocessors that'll put your stuff on the line. And if I don't know them, I know of the company and know enough of it that I can guide you through the process. Stop doing business with people that ain't got no network. Unless you just want to say, I just want to help this person, because you're going to get these bandwagon people who ain't serious about the business, and you're going to end up getting scammed. And you may say, well, how is that being scammed if the person ain't got no experience? It's scammed if they're representing that they can do it and they really can't. That's scammed. So build your network. If you serve podcasters, if you help podcasters get on different platforms, if you help podcasters do production, if you help them to really do something different with their podcast, help them to see how you are different from the last person who just called them 5 minutes ago. And let me tell y'all something else, Black folks. Y'all know how y'all jump on these? What time is it? Y'all know how y'all jump on these schemes and scams? Let me tell you something. By the time the Black community gets wind of the scam, because I know some of y'all just say, no, I want to make quick money. I'm going to steal. I'm going to scam. But let me tell you something. By the time we get wind of it, 9 times out of 10, the white community done already burnt it up. So they done made millions of dollars off of the scam. Now they go and introduce it to the Black community. Why? Because they're getting ready to bail. They getting ready to get up out of there. And guess who's going to jail? You, your Black behind. The white people who invented the scam, they either done already went to jail, or they not going to jail, or you don't even really know who they are. They made their money off of it. And now they done rolled out. So then they're going to bring this Ponzi scheme and all these games to the Black community. And then we jump on it, think we doing something, calling people, scamming people. But they done burnt it up. They done burned all the money out of it. There's nothing left for you there. Ain't no get rich quick scheme no more, because they done took all the money out of it. By the time we get wind of it, anytime I see a Black person running a scam, I can guarantee you, because I know enough about business and about systems and processes, I can trace it all the way back. And I can guarantee you that I can tell you that somebody else done burnt the scam up and you about to go your butt to jail. It's just simple. It's the same with real estate. These real estate scams we doing with these classes and these schools and getting people to pay money and invest, and then that scam been around since the 2000s, early 2000s, maybe before. There's a certain person in the public that shall remain nameless, but as soon as I tell y'all, y'all gonna know. He had a real estate school, and I joined that school back in 2001. And I remember it cost $1,200, and that was a lot of money back then. And I saved up my $1,200, and I paid my $1,200 to go to this person's real estate school. And when I sat in the class, I said, this is a damn scam. And I knew it. And I fought to get my money back. Now, later, fast forward years later, people talking about his real estate school was a scam. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But I got up out of that in the early. So then I seen Black people. Let me finish the story. Then I seen Black people trying to establish their own schools. And I recognized the business model being this person's business model. They was the one who did it first. And I said, oh, man, y'all don't realize y'all going to the clink, because they already scammed. They done burnt this up already. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. You got to pay attention. Don't you jump on the scam that's already burnt up and now you in trouble. Let me say this. Don't run for public office, open a nonprofit, take government money, take this other money and think that you can go use it for something other than what it's for. That's another scam that's burnt up. Stop doing that, people. They got people like me that they will hire to be an auditor, and I will come in 5 minutes and be able to tell that if they gave you the money to buy books for homeless children, and you done took the money and went and bought a Bentley and a new house, it ain't that hard to tell. It's not that hard to discern. But we do it all the time. We go into politics. And yes, you see white people do it all the time. They go into politics. Next thing you know, they got buildings, they got property, they got stuff that they own, they got contracts for they mama, they daddy, they cousin, they sisters. You can't do that. And if they let you do it, they only gonna let you do it for a minute, and when the heat come down on them, they gonna direct them to you. And they've been letting you do it for so long that the money is big enough that them people gonna come in and jay on down on you because you've been doing it too long. They let you do it. Don't do that, y'all. If you apply for a grant and it's for books for homeless children, get it, buy the books and get a daggone books to the homeless children. If you say, well, I got to get something out, then write yourself in as an administrative fee. I'm the book facilitator. I'm the book handler. What's the job description? I go and I source the books with the wholesale book company. I have them delivered to a certain location. I package them up and I pass them out to the children. And I hire people to help me. That's worth a fee. And you can pay yourself that. But you can't just go, I'm finna do nothing. I'm just finna be out here stunting and styling and profiling. And I'm going to take the money and I'm going to go do something else with it. Come on, y'all. That's right, Brother Lamont. Insider trading amongst politicians. And we get in there and think that we could do it. We always the first ones with the scandal. First black mayor got a scandal. First black alderman, councilman, governor got a scandal. Just don't do it. If you're going to go into politics to be a politician to really help and serve the people. If you know you like looking good, riding good, smelling good, you like nice things, nice cars, you like being in business and making money and treating yourself, then politics is probably not for you. Playing this nonprofit game, I don't care how many presidents, ex-presidents, and big-time business people you see playing this game, it's probably not for you. So don't do it. And we be like, that's free money. It don't matter. It's just free money. Is anything free? Is anything free in the world? You know what I mean? People in the black community be like, so Sajdah stupid because to build that house, I would have used somebody else's money. I would get a grant and say I'm gonna do this and say I'm gonna do that. Really? Let me say this. Before you apply for a grant, look and see what that foundation that's gonna be gifting you that grant, that organization, look and see what they all about. Because they may be about something that you ain't about. You may be the complete exact opposite of what they about. And guess what's going to happen? Soon as some fraud come rolling downhill, you're going to be the main one going to jail. They're going to be looking at you. They're going to be auditing you. So stop these scams. And you got professionals now thinking that these scams are okay. You know how many people are calling me every day telling me, hey, let me help you put together a 501c3, a nonprofit, and then we could get this money. Wait, what are you talking about? Now, I'm not talking about, there's people that I do business with and we do nonprofit work and we have these kinds of conversations. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about random people who just go, I want to help with this or that. And some people are slick, man. They smart, they degree, they're credentialed. Because most of us are not going to get scammed by a homeboy standing outside the liquor store. We're going to discriminate against him or her when we see them coming. We're not going to get scammed by a crackhead. We're going to look at her and be like, if you don't get your crackhead so-and-so out of my face, who are you going to get scammed by? Somebody with a law degree, somebody with an accounting degree, somebody who's a financial services person, somebody who works, a teacher. That's who you're going to get scammed by. They're either lying and saying that they that, or they done picked up some predatory practices. And what I want us to do, I want us to be so solid and so healed and so on top of our game that you can't get us. And guess what? I'm so on top of my game, you can't get me. You're not going to get me. And if you do get me, I ain't even going to get mad at you because you just taught me something. All right, let me go. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Diane Thomas says, good morning, everyone. I'm just a little late as I didn't see the message until Nate. Thanks, Vaughn, for the invite. Okay, that's Diane Thomas. Brother Lamont said, damn, that's crazy. People are good. Yes, Brother Lamont, people are very good. But as Servant Nasir says, yes, you're right. Sometimes their plot doesn't go as planned. So they will either abort, and if they're real good and real bold, they'll hang in there and maybe use something else as leverage. Great advice, be unique. That's exactly right. The devil has stole the creative mind. And the thing about the devil can't create. He can only steal and destroy. That's another show. Monica Daniels Muhammad said, it is so annoying to even look at the cookie cutter approaches. Thank you and love offering. Oh, yes. Oh, on the way. Thank you. Thank you, love offering. Sister Betty said, this is great. Sister Diane says, this information is dynamic and so many people need to learn and understand. Yes, ma'am. You know why, Sister Diane? Is because we only think about these scams when it comes to interpersonal relationships. Though none of us want to be dating a Tinder swindler and we think we're going to get ghosted, but we forget that this stuff happens in business. And when you're an entrepreneur, you got to be especially keen on this stuff. In fact about it, you can't be a sociopath yourself because another sociopath knows how to trick another sociopath. All right, let's see what else we got here. Sister Monica said, teach on the grant monitoring. Oh my God. That grant thing it kills me because I'm like, are you serious? You really done took these people's money and you about to go get lipo? You done really took these people money and you about to go get a BBL? You really think they're not going to say anything? They may not say nothing now because maybe it's only 5,000. But wait till you get to the 50,000, 100,000, 250,000. Oh, they coming. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Stop asking people for money and not giving them anything in return. Y'all know I've been keen on that, especially with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad Housing. You donate something, I'm going to give you something. Whether it's a coin, if you give up the $350, we're going to give you a coin. If you buy a coin, I got a box right here in front of me. Y'all can't see. It's got gifts, photos. You know, at Savior's Day, you bought something. I gave you a crystal jewelry because I'm going to always give you more in value than what you've given me. See, because you're not going to walk away and go, oh, she scammed me. Not the kid. It is a disease, Brother Lamont, and it's sickening. Sandra C said, wow, all your shows back each other up. Ask the right questions. Yeah, ask the right questions. And it backs each other up, Sister Sandra, because it's a download. And sometimes I'm able to take the download and chop it up and create several different shows. Well, God will tell me, talk to the people about this. And it's business. This is just how he uses me. And I know that you can apply these principles in other ways, but it's just things. Say this, because we are so much like robots. We sit up and we see something that somebody else is doing, and then we think, oh, it's okay for us to go out and do it ourselves. And it's not. It's not. You got to be unique and authentic today. Stop following behind other scam artists. Stop selling your soul because you saw somebody else sell their soul and it made them money. You like, shoot, where they make that money at? And I think a lot of that is human nature. When you got a poverty mindset and poverty consciousness is the way you roll, you tend to mimic and copy other people. You say, oh, I want that. You see somebody look good in something, then you want it. Not thinking whether or not your body, it'll look good on your body, whether or not it's appropriate for where you going or who you are. You go, oh, I see somebody with that hair on, or, that outfit on. I want that. Sister Monica said exactly. Grants are program specific. You can't pay my fee to write a grant from the grant if awarded. Yeah, I don't know why people don't get that. It ain't free money. It's like PPP loans. You can't just make up this and think they're not going to come back. Guess what? By the time the PPP loan concept gets to us, I don't care if you just heard it on the news. These other people done did the PPP loans and they done burnt the scam up. So here you come with your fake people, your fake employees, your fake this business, your fake this and that. And guess what? Guess who getting busted? Guess who going to jail? You don't hear on the news that many white people and people from other cultures going to jail, because before they announce it on the news. See, by the time they announce it on the news is for people who think on a 4th to 8th grade level. Did y'all know that? People who think on a higher intellectual plane get their news from other places, but not on the news channel. News is really entertainment and marketing. This is by the time they get ready to put it on the news is what they want to tell us about a subject, but it's really not everything about it. And oftentimes it's not the truth. This is just real facts. So by the time they announce on the news that the PPP loans exist, look, it's already a burn up scheme, because the banks who had the program done already told their people, their big customers, look, apply for this, do that. They done burn it up already. They got a whole nother communication network. And when you don't have resources, when you don't build your network, you don't understand what that means. That's why I tell each and every one of us as conscious entrepreneurs, build your network and have regular conversations with them. This is why I have dinners and events and stuff like that with people in my industry circles, because we share information. We can see what's coming down the pike. We can see what's next. So by the time it hits the news, it ain't news to us. We done already talked about it. So when it comes on the news, we're like, yeah, we know about this, or this. All right. Okay. I see you, good God, servant Nasir. Thank you, you all. So I hope this helps. We'll see what we get and what our series will be next week, if it'll be series or how we're going to do. I haven't done a current events show in a while. And so I've thought about doing that a little bit. It's just so much right now in the news that I don't even want to talk about. So I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. So just stay tuned. Okay. Make sure you like and subscribe. That way you get a notification if I post anything. Follow me on social media, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad. Support the completion of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House. If you don't have your commemorative Elijah coin, go to support.sajdahhouse.com to get your commemorative coin. If you just say, hey, I just want to make a love offering because this information has raised my awareness and I love high vibrational conversations, then just send a love offering, Cash App, Sajdah Enterprises. And let me tell you something. Let's see, how do I want to say this to you all? It's important that you understand mathematically how to balance your vibrations. Make sure that I use a lot of recordings and binaural beats and meditation to keep my vibration high. Most music nowadays, most of the things we listen to, they've produced it so that it's a low vibration, and it hypnotizes you into a lower vibration. Um, unless you listen to music before they started playing with vibration tones, like disco music, like 70s music. Back then, people were really trying to make feel good music, and so the vibrational tone is different. Most music today, especially when they put it in like mixes and it's stuff that's on the radio, the tone is different. And the tone is designed to keep you at a low vibration. And so even though you're a good person, you really are nice, you really are trying hard, you're really smart, but it's very difficult for you to manifest past a certain level. Check your vibrational tones. And the way you do that is infiltrate into your day things that are higher vibrations. So I try to tune into high vibration conversations. I try to make sure if I'm having conversations to the extent that I can, that they're high vibrations. If I have to get on a call with an attorney or another professional and the tone gets kind of low because we might be going back and forth over something, or I may know that they kind of running a little commission scheme or something like that, I get off of that call and I go and listen to something that's higher vibration. And so I make sure that I'm always coming back to that high vibration tone. And sometimes it's just by doing it with binaural beats and just doing a quick meditation between my calls. Sometimes when I'm coaching people, if you're consulting or coaching people in between those calls, you got to come back to the high vibration. Okay. So I'm grateful that this show, I try to keep it as high vibrational with information that we're sharing to raise awareness and to put us on another level, because a mind once expanded can never contract. Once you know better, you're obligated to do better. And if you don't, then all you're doing is lowering your vibration, because you don't want to function at that higher vibration. A mind once expanded can never contract. And we'll say it like grandma said, once you know better, you got to do better. All right. So Servant Nasir said, you did a beautiful job pulling off this business devil and his helpers, pulling the cover off this business devil and his helpers. Yeah, thank you. Praise be to Allah. Love offering on the way. Thank you, Sister Betty. Appreciate you all. All right. Peace and blessings, family. Stay close. Tune in. Next week, I'll post what we're going to be talking about. I haven't figured it out. I haven't decided it yet. I'll meditate on it. We'll come up with something. And the more you all interact with me in the chat, in whatever way you interact, you tune in, let me know if you're my coaching client or whatever, the more I can download information that will help us in business. That is my whole goal, is to help us become conscious entrepreneurs and usher in a new economy. Okay, so again, support the completion of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House, and we'll see you all soon. Okay, peace and blessings, family.